What's happening, people? We are back with another season of Only One Bonus Point, a light take on a deep game. We're your hosts. My name is RJ.
I'm Law.
And I'm Ray.
Guys, so good to see you.
It is.
It's been a minute, isn't it? It's been a minute.
Do you know what I feel like it's rare to come on this show and have a smile on my face.
Yeah, last season was peak for you, innit?
Yeah. It was
football-wise,
it was football-wise mainly. Yeah. But yeah, it was tough. It was a tough season to get through. But now I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad to be back. I've had a good break and a proper break.
Mm-hmm.
I've left FPL alone completely until now.
I'm not sure I'm ready. It's come thick and fast, and yeah, it's gonna be a madness. Ray, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. A bit like Law, echoing what he said. Oh, that little thing there. Oh, no,
that beautiful thing over there, like that gold, just
gold sand.
I didn't get the memo for the shirts, so see what's happening here.
Neither did we.
This is how we're starting the season. All right, okay.
It just happened.
Okay,
A bit retro. Just a bit retro.
All right.
You know what? It felt. I swear the season was not even a month past ending, and then FPL restarted again. It felt really quick this season, isn't it? It felt really quick that the game came out. Feels like.
Is it maybe because last season was quite a long break before we started, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure maybe the last 2 years is around September or some crazy times like that. Or the COVID year was September or something.
The COVID year was really late. Yeah.
But I mean, guys, we're back. FPL football transfer windows open. The league is back soon. How are we feeling?
Ooh.
I'm feeling like I've got a breath of fresh air. That's how I'm feeling. I feel much more relaxed going into this year, and I think it's because I've deliberately not been diving deep into anything. I feel so much more relaxed. I think last year I was trying too hard, way too hard, and I think it's just too much information in my head. Whereas this year I feel so much more relaxed. I feel better. I feel good. You?
Right?
Very excited from an Arsenal perspective, of course. But also,
you see his face? Very excited.
I'm still so used to us doing audio that I can do any kind of expression I want. It doesn't matter.
I keep my eyes darting between the two of you. I'm like, oh, this is new.
But yeah, hyped, and I'm really happy that we've got the videos going again, man. That really is exciting.
We said we were going to do it. We said we're going to make things better. We're going to try to do more for the listeners and for now the viewers. So if you're not catching us on YouTube at the moment, you can catch all the audio everywhere that you can listen to a podcast: Spotify, Amazon Prime. Well, Amazon is Prime. Podbean, Podcast Addict, Apple. Oh, how can I not say Apple? Apple should be second, isn't it? But anyway, guys, what are we going into today? Pre-season.
Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of excitement around VAR. So we'll go through the changes that they're looking to bring into the Premier League. We'll go through this crazy offside trial. RJ, credit to you. You gave this to me and I was like, what the hell is this? New players to watch out for, both in football and FPL terms. A specific small player profile that RJ would like to go through, which is exciting. Maybe we're forgetting about the king of FPL, and then we'll go through our drafts. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right. Is there? So
I'm gonna throw in a little dash in there real quick. Because we've missed this. The first competition of fantasy football, which we always do. Talk to me. What's your team IDs?
Oh yeah, mine ain't as good as last year. Actually,
Law sitting in a car.
Yeah, last year I was on it.
Right before the deadline, got some crazy team ID. So go on, let's hear it.
Well, you guys say yours because I actually need to.
I am 48,007.
48. What's that? 48,000.
48,007. Slow. Last season I was in the top 10k. The only time I was.
Yeah, last year you were like 17K, weren't you? Jeez.
Yeah.
You might turn that off, you know.
Yeah. I might have to.
It's here killing bugs on live feed.
What about you, RJ? Do you know yours?
Just bringing it up now.
Yeah, mine is 377,846.
Mad. Mine is 4,560.
Man was smashing that F5 key. It doesn't even say F5 anymore. It's faded.
I was ready.
Yeah, it's because I got him last year.
I was ready this year. Let me out, bro. Yeah. I was ready this year. Yeah, 4,560. But
nice.
I didn't actually realize there was a benefit to getting early team ID. At first, I just thought it was just, but I didn't actually realize that the lower your team ID, if someone's on the same points as you, it'll go down to the team ID. I didn't know that.
After the amount of transfers, yes. Yeah, if you've made the same amount of transfers as well, yeah, amazing.
Crazy. But yeah, so 4.5K. That's a good start to the season. You get me? Good start to the season.
Cool.
But yeah,
right. Let's kick it.
VAR.
Oh, last season, how many goals? We're just there for 5 minutes. I remember once going to get like a drink and coming back, and they were still reviewing if it was a goal,
which is insane. And anything that close should not be being given. That's the thing.
Also, yeah, exactly. Also, as well, Ray, you're an Arsenal fan. Only us could be in a game, and they don't put the offside line when they're checking offside.
Oh my god!
Cool. Only us. Only that can happen to us. But we complain, right? Yeah. So now, so Ray, so what's the complete change that you're saying that they're doing now with VAR and offside?
Yeah. So in the Premier League last year, well, since it's been introduced, they were using the lines, and then they used different thickness of the lines as well. And then in the World Cup, they trialed the actual AI technology as well, where it just kind of puts this, if you like, transparent screen kind of to judge if anyone's offside or not. And one thing I realized in the World Cup whilst watching it, decisions were instantaneous, isn't it? There was none of these lines or anything like that. It was offside, it wasn't or not, and that's it. And it just made the game flow so brilliantly, and that's what they're going to do in the Premier League this season, which is very exciting. Simply because it just speeds up the game, isn't it?
You can have it's easily to have momentum lost. So if like a team is on the comeback and it's taken 5 minutes and then it's given offside anyway, like the adrenaline that they had is diminished. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just, so this will be much, much better for the game. Much better. Also,
as well, like there were, especially towards the end of the season, there were so many times they'll put up, the red line and then the green line to confirm if it's onside or offside. But it was like sometimes if you had the right angle and you showed us a different angle, one angle will look onside and the other angle will look offside, and they'll say they'll use the different angle. Like, hold on, that is because you go on Twitter later on and you'll see that the player was onside, but it's been given as an offside. You're like, hold on, this ain't right.
It almost felt subjective.
But, exactly. So with this new digital AI, where it's literally just once your part, anybody part is past that screen, it's offside. It's gonna work.
Yeah,
it's gonna work. Yeah.
How do you think it affects us FPL wise?
More goals.
You think it straight away correlates to more goals? Yeah.
Not directly, but a little bit, because I feel
either or, isn't it?
Less. Yeah, but less goals I feel like will be called
incorrectly.
Will be incorrectly. Exactly.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
I think it clamps more on what you were saying, Lord, that momentum isn't completely lost.
Yeah. Which therefore it leads to more goals. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But personally, I'm absolutely delighted. So then, when a goal is scored, I mean, RJ, of course, you're a season ticket holder as well, and Law, are you as well? Sorry.
Yeah.
So when you're going there, and if
don't do that, don't try to do that to me. Don't try to do that.
I'm not. I'm not. This one I'm not. This one I'm not. This one I'm not. I'm not that cynical.
That is
But
funny.
at least if a goal is
Funny.
scored and they're checking VAR, you're going to know within 30 seconds if it's a goal or not. You're not waiting 4 minutes. So
do you know what's funny though? Sometimes, like when you're actually at the game and there's like a handball and stuff, I message people watching at home because I'm like, was it hand? Because obviously they show the replay a lot quicker, and you can see, we can tell immediately if it's a handball or not. So I'm like, is it a handball? If the guy said nope, I'm like, all right, cool, let me just relax because we're waiting for VAR, and the way they take so long to make a decision sometimes, it's like, oh, come on, man. Handballs.
Sometimes they wait so long to tell you that they're viewing something. Like I remember being at a game and it was it just took ages to know that something's actually being checked. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like the whole process is so slow sometimes. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And then Ray, so I've just noticed that this image from FIFA as well. So FIFA are trialing something different as well when it comes to the offside rule. So they're actually what they're dubbing the Wenger rule for offside is basically there we are. Look at this guy, beautiful. It's basically the daylight rule, which is the complete opposite of what we did last season in the Premier League. But they're giving the advantage back to the attacker, and there's going to be bare goals.
I think too much, in my opinion.
Listen,
too much, but
too much goals. Can you have too much goals?
I don't know. Do you know what it is? I think because growing up, I always played in defense, innit? So I think I have a soft spot for defenders. So I just feel like it's for the game for like the neutrals. Every game's going to be more entertaining, undoubtedly. But I just feel like in terms of giving the advantage to one set of players, then the advantage is wholly in the attacker's side.
Yeah,
and so, also potentially causes like smaller teams or lower down the table teams to play deeper than they normally would.
Yeah, but they sit back anyway sometimes. So
but now they've got no incentive to go forward though. No incentive whatsoever.
I mean, growing up, like Goal Lazio and stuff like that. Channel 4 Italian football, and also Arsenal when it was 1-0 to the Arsenal. There was a real art of defending, and I've always really appreciated it. I've really appreciated world-class backlines to play people offside. I've always appreciated. So the Arsenal back four were brilliant at it. Obviously, the Italian teams, specifically like Milan, were brilliant. Like when they had Costa and Nesta. I've always appreciated great lines at the back to play people offside. This almost completely eliminates that. And I enjoy the art of great defending. I always have, just because, being a kid and watching specifically a lot of Italian football. As much as it's great that there'll be more goals, there's already so many goals. And defending for me has already taken a little bit of a hit because people are more focused on ball playing and progressive passing. We'll talk about goalkeepers later, I'm sure, but they look at how good a passer is of the goalkeeper before shot stopping, in my opinion. That's literally how I think it's going. We're almost eliminating here proper defenders who can read the game, i.e. the likes of what Adams can do and Vidic can do, and players of that ilk. So I think this is too much, like what Law said. I have to agree. I mean, what are your thoughts, RJ?
I like the fact that they bring more goals. I like they're giving the advantage back to the attackers. But again, it's a complete opposite. We don't want the complete opposite. We want it somewhere in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
If you see in this image here, if this rule comes in, that is onside. And to me, that is wild. He's literally left his foot behind and he's good. That's too much. Certain players,
too much. Yeah.
You're not catching certain players with that. Like Rashford, Saka,
Salah,
Jesus, Salah, Son. You're not catching them. If they've got that little line, you're not catching them.
Exactly.
And it's a bit too much of an advantage. So I'd hope they'd find a happy middle with what they see with this FIFA trial, and then trying to merge it from the old way. I don't get it. It's quite obvious when an offside is an offside. Like, if you're having to look that deep into it, like we had last season, if you're looking that deep for offside, it's not offside.
Yeah.
But if he's that far ahead, come on, that's offside, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Man. But I just like the fact that they're trying to.
I think it's something where we're going to track throughout the season as well and see how it's going in these leagues.
Yeah, man.
Cool. All right. I'll go next. So, specifically, this is new players to watch out for. So, Law, give us one, give us two. What you're thinking, how it relates to FPL as well, of course.
I don't know why, but I didn't expect to go first in this thing. But so one of the players I was going to talk about was James Maddison to Spurs. Although not a new player, joining a new team.
No, he counts as new.
Yeah.
I think he counts as new. Yeah, 100%.
Agree.
I think it's a style of player we've been crying out for since Eriksen left. And I think he just fits the bill perfectly. From what I've seen of our new manager, Ange Postecoglou, playing two advanced eights.
Say his name again, please. I don't know how to say it.
Postecoglou.
Very well said, but continue with the 2 eights.
Yeah, he plays 2 eights, one of them advanced. So I think that's the position that Maddison will play. So
okay.
Yeah, with him playing forwards, even Leicester were poor last year. He was still heavily involved in goals. Over the last 5 years, his goals involvements are he's in like the top 5 players in the league. He's
amazing,
an incredible player, and I think it will add so much to us. I definitely think he's looking.
This is finally no more 5 at the back, isn't it? That's what this signing is. You know, now you can play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3.
Exactly.
I think Bissouma's going to have a massive preseason. Do you think it could be a Bissouma, Bentancur, and Maddison 3? Because that's a really good trio.
That would be the 3, but Bentancur is injured at the minute. I don't think. I think he had a surgery on his knee halfway through last season, so I don't think he's back till October, November.
Such a good player.
Yeah. So who takes that other 8 spot? I mean, I did see in training today that they had Ndombele playing in that position. Whether he stays with us, I don't know. I'm trying not to get excited about him the best I can, even though I keep seeing pictures of him smiling, and it's bringing me in. It's bringing me in. But I think that's the 3 that you mentioned. Bissouma, Bentancur, Maddison will be our midfield 3 going forward, I think, which sounds strong.
Yeah, before I'm sure Arja's going to ask something. With Maddison as well, do you think from an FPL perspective it should be a wait and see, or just, you know what, go for it, and if it doesn't work out, just there's so many midfield options without spoiling your team?
I'd be happy to go for it, you know, because he's Premier League proven. If he was a player that came from outside the league, we didn't know much about him in the Premier League, then maybe it's a wait and see. But he's Premier League proven, so I wouldn't be against going with him from the beginning.
So the only thing I want to ask you about that, completely agree with you 100%. Are you worried about his injuries? His fitness?
Yeah, that would always be a worry. That's kind of a way. I don't know. You can't plan for injuries, I guess. I'd still be happy to have him. And his price range means he's easy to move on to other people as well.
Yeah. So what? Because if you base your, do you think they're gonna base your attacking him, like play him, like surround him, or do you think you'll still be around, like not sort of Kane, but you know, Kane has dropped back a bit, isn't it?
Kane. Well, again, I've only seen what I've seen of like Ange and other teams. So if he sets us up differently, I don't know. We got a game tomorrow, so I'll definitely know a bit more then. But from the way he normally plays, Kane won't be asked to drop deep, and his attacking players are quite fluid. So I don't see Maddison staying in one spot. I see him and Kulusevski swapping a lot on that right hand side.
Right, interesting.
Okay,
really interesting. I mean,
definitely better for you.
I guess it's FPL as well, and I know we're sticking a bit on Maddison, but if Kane goes, I personally think it's good for Tottenham's intensity and more exuberant style of play.
In terms of pressing from the front, which is the way Ange likes to play.
Richarlison's son Kulusevski with Maddison behind him sounds pretty formidable on paper.
Kane ain't going nowhere, man.
I mean,
if he doesn't, I don't think he's going to buy him. I think if PSG sell Mbappe, they'll go for Kane. That's what I think.
I think if Kane is going anywhere, I think if he's going anywhere, he's going United. If United come in for him, I think that's the only place to go. But Levy would be crazy to sell him to United. But I know he doesn't want him to let it go for free. You can't lose Kane for free.
You can't lose Kane for free.
Can't.
And the idea of keeping him and hoping he signs a contract is ludicrous. He has to be like he has to. I'd rather we sell him abroad than sell him to a team in that, because honestly,
Of course.
it would be so painful to watch him break the record with another team. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, if he's not signing the contract, he has to go. We can't keep him running down his contract to the end of the season. I just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Cool.
Do you have any other players you're looking at?
Yeah.
The other player I was looking at was someone I wanted to mention that I thought was an interesting one. Now, I don't expect him to be involved in like loads of goals, but I think he's going to take the Gundogan role, and that's Kovacic at Man City.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because I think he was underutilized at Chelsea. He was far better
100%.
than what we saw of him at Chelsea. And I think he's been brought in for that Gundo role. So if he does get a run of games, I could easily see him being someone people turn to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Cool. First one's Kai Havertz. It's almost like he's had two little careers, hasn't he? He had what he did at Bayer Leverkusen. A lot of those late runs into the box, fantastic timing, and scored a lot of goals. Lampard-esque, I guess, which is why he got a lot of the hype. Went to Chelsea. At no point have I felt like he's really performed, apart from the latter stages of that UCL run where he was absolutely brilliant. He was actually making those late runs as a false nine. And then after he won the Champions League, Tuchel played him up front almost as a target man. And then, last season with Potter, and then so who took over after Potter? Lampard again.
Lampard.
They just all played him in that nine. So really intrigued to see what we do with him. I think that left 8 role, RJ, is kind of what we're plugging, but I think it will be a lot of that 3-2-4-1 formation kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really interested to see, and excited actually, because I've not been with the signing at all. From day one, I've not rated Havertz. I've been very public about it. But so he comes in, and I don't have massive expectations like I do for Odegaard and Jesus and Saka and all these guys. I look at him as a, when we're playing at home to Bournemouth, I can see Havertz playing the left 8. But if we're away to Spurs, I don't see him playing that left 8.
Yeah.
I think it will be more of a, if we keep Partey and Rice, or Rice and Jorginho, a bit more steel in midfield. But the good thing Havertz offers is he offers flexibility in all those positions.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a guaranteed starter, but if we're reverting it to FPL at 7.5 million, he could be an unreal asset to own at 1 million cheaper than Odegaard, for example.
Yeah. Just want to add a little thing as well because you're saying about Havertz and his runs in behind, or his late runs. Yeah. That's kind of what Xhaka was doing. And if we were to put it, because we only really use Xhaka one season like that, so I can't really say he's the best at it. And at Bayer Leverkusen, Havertz was definitely better at it. So in that sense of things, and helping Odegaard out with playmaking, it could work. To me, same as you, I was a bit like, why are we signing Havertz? I was a bit surprised. And I hope we're not signing him to play up front. That just can't be. It cannot be for up front, because no, we just don't need it. If we're gonna get a striker, we need to get a proper striker. But yeah, I've got no expectations on Havertz, so whatever he does, I'll be happy with it. He's still a top player. We can't ignore it. So yeah, I like him.
Law, what are your thoughts on Havertz? And then I'll give my second.
I think he's a good player. I think he was bought for too much, considering, as you said, I don't expect him to start every game either. We did the same thing. I was going to say we did the same thing with Richarlison. We spent way too much on a player we were never going to start. So yeah, like I said, that's just the way it is now. So you're paying 65 million for squad rotation players. That's insane, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see, because even though last year you used Xhaka as the late runner, he is much more defensive minded, much more than Havertz. So it'll be interesting to see how you set up while Havertz is on the pitch, playing in Xhaka's position.
Yeah.
Great. On his point just there, do you think that Xhaka was actually doing that much defensively when Partey was playing?
No, not really. Not really.
I
Not
didn't
not.
either.
It was
Yeah.
more because we were dominating possession so much in games, apart from honestly 2 or 3 games overall, is that it was a lot more about, well, can we slick our way through these teams? And then defensively, Zinchenko was obviously going into midfield, and obviously being at the games, you would have seen it from a perfect view.
Doing the overload,
My,
innit? Yeah.
It's just with Declan Rice, when we have to be defensive, I feel there's just going to be so much load on him to be the guy who is the destroyer in midfield, if you like, because I think he's a better tackler than Partey, but maybe we're relying so much on that brilliant defensive nous of his that either Ødegaard might have. This is the thing from an FPL aspect. I think Ødegaard might suffer with returns when Havertz is playing with him, because I think he might drop a little bit more, or we're asking too much of our inverted fullbacks, i.e. Zinchenko or Timber. And it's really interesting to see how we'll set up. So I agree. I don't think you'll see Havertz defend, but I do think you'll see Ødegaard defend more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Okay.
The second guy, I know there's been a lot of discussion around Nkunku, but I'm very interested with Jackson. So they bought him from Villarreal. He scored 12 goals and got 4 assists last season in the league from 26 games. So, a good return for Villarreal, who are a mid-table team in Spain. And with their activity of trying to let go of Lukaku, and Nkunku has never been a main forward. He's always kind of been that second striker. Yeah. I'm really intrigued to see actually how he'll play in pre-season, because at the moment, the way I see it setting up would be a 4-2-3-1, because I do think Chelsea will get Caicedo because they need to. They've sold all of them. All their central defensive players apart from Enzo. Is that I think it will be a Sterling, Mudryk, and Nkunku behind a Jackson or Broha. Oof, let's assume the season starts tomorrow. I think Jackson's a guy to really watch out for, because he's full of energy. Half decent player, runs the channels quite well. Not a prolific finisher, but again, if I revert it to FPL at 7 million, and Chelsea don't have Europe, remember? So, and Pochettino, I mean, Law, you'll know better than me. He's not renowned for rotating that much. So I think
he's not. No, only his fullbacks. He normally rotates his fullbacks because he asks them to do so much. But
exactly. So I think with the Premier League, he can just set out an 11 every single week, and players like Jackson could be a steal, because they paid about 35-40 million. I know with Chelsea
30 million,
it means nothing. Okay, that's like a bargain for them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But Jackson's the one I think going under the radar. So what do you guys think?
How much is he in FPL? Out of curiosity.
7,
yeah.
7 million
7.
forward. So it's Sterling as a midfielder, Sterling. So
Sterling's a 7 million midfielder. They put Sterling 7 million. They dropped him that much.
And Mudryk is 6.5.
Oof.
Yeah, I expected that because of he was like 7, wasn't he, before? 7.5. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I agree, man. That's something to look into, actually, because I know everyone's looking at that third striker spot, but they also try to save money as well without spending too much. So that's actually a great shot. Is it me now? So I have 2 players. One, I think we all know him very well, McAllister at Liverpool. This signing is giving me the Jota vibes, and we know what Klopp is like with certain players. Like what we see McAllister do in Argentina and at Brighton, to put him into this Liverpool squad and fix what they were missing last season. I think we're just gonna see a new level of this player. I don't know if he's gonna take pens because obviously Salah.
Yeah.
But controlling that midfield, I just think around better players, because don't forget Brighton haven't been bad in it, but you can't say they've got world-class players, like many of them anyway. With Liverpool, I just think where they want to be back to where they were before, with Diaz back, Salah not doing as well as he normally would, even though he had a great season, Darwin not having a good season. I just think McAllister will come in and be confident to say, look, we're going to do something new. So I just think he's going to be a great shot, and he's 6 million in FPL.
Yeah, he's a good shot. My fear is that he plays deeper though because of their other midfield signing in I don't know how you say his name.
Szoboszlai.
That's the data. Thank you very much. Yeah, who plays a little bit further forwards. So my only fear is that if you go for a McAllister, you likely may not. He might be the assist to the assist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pull the strings, but not actually get the points.
Yeah, I think throughout last season we were talking a lot about how Liverpool's style of play is changing from what they're so renowned for, isn't it? You know, we spoke about like they'll have Robertson and Trent pretty much as wingers. They'll have the front three intensity levels and obviously the quality, and that midfield three would always be the engine, wouldn't it? It would be high press, high engine, maybe not technically as gifted in Fabinho, Henderson, and Wijnaldum, but they have the pure industry to regain that ball as high as possible and then feed it to, you know, the two wide men, if you like, Salah, Mane and Firmino. And but now I feel that transition's completely gone with these signings. You know, they're getting McAllister and Szoboszlai, who are more wonderful ball players and guys who can receive the ball in these spaces and eke out these passes. So I think that's why it makes Trent so much more an attractive asset in FPL, because he's going to go into midfield to like help Fabinho, for example. But I think this is Klopp's second team now, if that makes sense. You know, Ferguson went through all these teams. Arteta's now on his second team with Arsenal, if you like. I think this is truly Klopp's probably third team, because the first team he had was so bad. I think he had Charlie Adam. But his third team now, he is now looking at the more progressive player that Pep does and Arteta does and stuff. So I think McAllister is, if he didn't have the penalties last season, I think he would have only got 8 returns. I think he scored 9 penalties last year. But he is a better penalty taker than Salah. But Salah.
It's true. Yeah.
Who's the second one?
Timber. Jurian Timber. Oop, there we go. My guy. I didn't think we were going to get this over the line. I really did. I'm excited for this player, because if you can see the stats for one, the one I like the most is the forward passing. He's really good on the ball, and if he can pick a pass out, whether he's playing right centre back or right back, I don't know if any of you lot seen him play for Ajax. He's another Saliba. He's very calm on the ball, and when he puts in a hard tackle, he makes sure he gets the ball. Like he's quicker than Ben White, and I feel like defensively on the wing, in the fullback position, he'll be doing much better than Ben White, because Ben White was good last season. We can't argue with him, but again, I feel like Saka kind of suffered because he was playing with Ben White. Because the year before that, when Saka was playing with Tomiyasu, he was able to get more forward, just because as a fullback, he's a better fullback in terms of, like, you know, overall compared to Ben White. Whereas Timber now, listen, 5 million on FPL, this guy's gonna be a problem. He can get forward and he can get back. I am very excited to see Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber. He can also do what Zinchenko does, which I think is one of the main reasons that Arteta went for him, is he can do the inverted fullback as well. So if we don't want to play Zinchenko, or we're resting Zinchenko, or Zinchenko gets injured, we can switch it over to the right side and have Timber playing the inverted fullback and have Tierney as the left back, the more defensive left back. Because we saw it last couple games. We saw Partey at right back. We're like, what's that for? We didn't understand it, and they were trying to do the inverted fullback thing, and it weren't really clicking. But with Timber, it changes everything, man.
I was gonna say, I think like having a player that can play that position just makes you more tactically difficult to deal with. Because if every game you go into, everyone knows the shape and formation you're going to play in that game, you become a little bit easier to handle. But if nobody knows, okay, are they going to play the inverted fullback on the right side or on the left side? Then it makes things difficult.
Yeah. I'd even think of it like that as well. Sometimes if you just say, oh, you know what, the left side, if we do that, the team we're playing against, that player, is better. Let's switch to the other side where they got a weaker opponent and let Timber go at them. So yeah, and 91.7% pass accuracy. That's Arsenal. That's all we want. we love to keep the ball. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, I know everyone's excited about Declan Rice, and he's going to be amazing for us. But we got this guy for 40 million. 40 million.
Yeah, you guys both
Increíble.
said it really well. I think one aspect I'm really interested in is I think there are going to be some games, and I'm interested if we'll do it in pre-season, where we'll play Timber, White, Saliba, and Gabriel as a back four. And I think I think Gabriel will be the Ake of Arsenal, where he'll be the wide centre back, if you like, covering the left, rather than what White was doing in the beginning of the season before he obviously started to find his attacking ability. I think we'll do that at times because a bit like Man City, and I have no issue us copying and pasting what they're doing. I really don't. Is that Ben White and Saliba are very good ball players, obviously in the central defence, and then Timber can be that inverted right back where he can support Declan Rice for some of those games that we were talking about.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I would like to see Timber and Zinchenko play together too much.
I was going to say, probably Tierney will play a lot more this season with Timber playing.
Yeah,
I don't think
Timber's
Arteta,
just asked to stay back or stay on the right.
I don't know if Arteta would like to risk the defense too much, because even though it would look really good if it works, but I feel like he's just a bit. It's just always a step at a time. Man. He never likes to rush everything. So we'll see. Exactly. I'm just so glad to get all the players in before pre-season because they've all gone to America now. So
unbelievable, right? Like this is so alien to us, RJ. But and the versatility of all the defenders. But I could see at some point next season that back four could be the first choice, RJ, of Timber, White, Saliba, and Gabriel, because I think they are our four best defenders. So I think Arteta will find a way. So brilliant, though. Yeah, like yourself, I'm just as excited about having him as I am of Rice. Seriously.
Yeah.
So okay.
We can't go through all these transfers without talking about your 100 million man. How are you guys feeling about your Rice, though?
I'm glad we got it done. I'm very glad we got it done. I think he's expensive.
Yeah.
I think he's very expensive, but he's going to change Arsenal. I think it was a really massive statement by signing Declan Rice, because anyone in the league would have signed him if they could have. I think anyone would have taken him, and he looks really happy to be there.
Like, he gets into any team.
He would, but he looks so happy to be there. Like I never expected it. I never expected him to be, as happy as he is. Like, sometimes you can see in it when a player is like, you can tell they're ready for the new challenge. So
yeah,
I think he's gonna push the rest. He's gonna add that extra oomph to, okay, yeah, we're gonna try do this again and push for trophies this time. We're not just gonna fade away and say this one's a fluke. Like he's gonna change the team 100%. And if Partey stays, oh my days,
oh my god,
Partey and Rice, thou shalt not pass. Oh my,
can't have a Partey without Rice.
All right, can you imagine? I'll be gassed. I know we're not too sure about if these rumors are true or not, but yeah, I hope he stays, and I actually feel we'll be a huge force with that defense, because any title-winning team, you have to have a top defense.
Yeah,
especially, I mean, for you lot, especially, you did amazing last year. You have Champions League, which means you need like first-team players on your bench.
Yeah,
because you have to play. You have to play two strong teams twice a week. So yeah. So to have depth is extremely important for you guys.
And good depth, because now if you look at our bench with some of the players that we're not sure who's going to start or not, we're like, oh, that's actually a good thing to have, because before,
absolutely,
some of the bench players were looking and we're like, oh, that's not, I don't want that coming off the bench.
Yeah,
but now, and I think we're still going in for a few more players, but I think we can bring in 2 more players as well before this window ends. So yeah, I'm excited about Declan Rice.
Yeah,
more than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, what is money now, isn't it, in football? I mean, ever since that Neymar...
as a fan, do you care? As long as your owners aren't like putting you in trouble, as a fan, you don't care.
You got it, Law. And ultimately, like, you know, he's an incredible addition to our team that will take us to the next level. And that's at this point, as a football fan, all I really care about. And yeah, I think something I wanted to clamp onto what you said. It's not, RJ, it's not about having backups. It's now having options, isn't it? We have options now. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to strengthen your team so that they're options. And something Arteta says, which I love, he doesn't call them substitutes. He calls them impactors. Yeah. So he's trying to get this. He's trying to get this whole philosophy around that. We're all there as the first team. You know, you're an impactor. You're not a substitute. You know, you're not a backup. You're an option. And I think that's brilliant. And to be honest with you, I put a tweet out. If we keep the squad that we have now, and obviously sell the likes of Pepe, Cedric, all these guys, I'm absolutely delighted with the squad. Legit, because we have so much versatility. Guys can play everywhere. So yeah. Awesome. So with all that excitement about new signings and everything like that, from an FPL aspect, I think, and I'm guilty of this, a certain Egyptian king is being ignored. So I thought it's only fair he gets his own segment.
I actually feel sheepish looking at his face. I'm not gonna lie. I feel sheepish. Like I shouldn't be.
His worst FPL season, he still got 28 returns. Of course, you can't just say, Law, it's Salah versus Bruno. It's combination play, isn't it? It's a Salah and Henry and Mbuemo versus a Bruno and Saka and Trent. That's how we have to treat it.
Yeah. But
we can't just, and I'm guilty of it, and I'm trying drafts all the time, and I'm not going to spoil our drafts, but I still try and find a way to get him in. But when you do, it just doesn't feel optimal enough, considering how much value there's been in the likes of Bruno. What do you think?
when you create a team, and you have your 5 midfielders that were all over 6.5 million, and then you're like, how do I get Salah in? And you realize that rather than putting him in, you're creating a whole new team. It's the only way to do it, is to create a whole new team. And it just makes it so hard to do. But then at the same time, he's playing Bournemouth in game week 2, and I know the FOMO is just going to be the FOMO is going to be crazy. Bournemouth game week 2. Why game week 2? Couldn't it have been like 7 or something? So I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah. For me, it's mad because I haven't done many drafts, but a few I've done, he hasn't been in any of them. And it's only for one reason. I'm not going to make him captain in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So I just don't see the upside of bringing him in when I know I'm going to be the captain in Haaland, but I'm terrified.
You wouldn't captain him against Bournemouth if you had him?
I think the Bournemouth against Newcastle.
Yeah.
That's the game week. That's the thing that scares me the most, is that game week. That game week 2.
I'll be literally doing it for one game week.
Yeah.
And then ripping up my whole team because of that. Because then I'd lose about 3 players that I really want in my squad.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the crux.
And I feel like you can not cover Salah, but have some sort of cover for Salah, if that makes sense. Rather than, because the 12.5 it's just too much. It's too much, but it's Salah, innit? I look, I'm sorry, Mo. For now, until I know what's going on with other teams and, you know, any cheap assets that are a bargain right now that are playing well, he's just gonna have to sit there for a bit, or I just destroy the rest of my team so I can have him and Haaland. I can't do it, man.
You can't, yeah, because I'm including players like I'm including 6 million strikers, and I don't want 6 million strikers, and I don't like the 4-5-1 because you're literally playing 2 non-playing forwards. Yeah. You've got to have,
and also let's not forget, look how bad they were last season, and
how quick to turn around.
Yeah. how quick the turnaround is, and they got new players, and how are they actually going to play together? I know I was backing McAllister, but we don't know if it's going to work yet. We just don't know. We just don't know. They might want to push Darwin more because it might work. We just don't know. Jota, I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing we can say about Salah is he's guaranteed his place, but the likes of Gakpo, Darwin, Jota, and Diaz, I'm so excited about those 4.
I forgot about Gakpo as well. I'm not gonna lie.
But the thing is, only 2 of those 4 will start. And they're all brilliant in their own ways. So I'm really excited in pre-season to see who's playing more. Personally, if I'm going to do a shout, I think Luis Diaz has got that left place on lock because he offers something none of the other players in the whole squad offers. His direct running is outrageous.
Not seen a bad game from him at Liverpool yet.
Yeah, I think it's his place to lose.
I mean, if you haven't got Salah in your squad, look, just understand he's going to get points.
Yes,
he is. He's going to get points. So
I think you have to be ready to live with that. You have to be ready to live with the fact that you're going to see him get points.
I'm not ready.
He's not. I haven't. It's not that he's not in my squad just because I think he's not going to get points. That's. I don't think none of us have thought that once. He's going to get points. So.
He's lost it. He's lost it.
Confirmation.
He's washed. He's absolutely washed.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So yeah, man.
So guys,
it's definitely too quick to ignore him, but hey.
Before we go into the next section, just please follow us on Twitter at only1bonuspoint. Follow Law at only1_Law, RJ _only1RJ, and myself _Cure. Also email us only1bonuspoint@gmail.com. Cool. So
look at this. This is nice. I like this.
Yeah, I like
this. Very exciting. I'll try and get the reverse next time. So one thing we're very, very interested to announce is that we will be partnering up with DraftHound this season. So very exciting. So you'll see a lot of us. Yes. So a lot of our stats you'll see. We'll include an affiliate link in the description below. And exciting stuff, RJ. I mean, DraftHound, exciting stuff.
Yeah, man. It's part of what we say. We're going to bring more for you guys, and I know we always speak about the eye tests, and we do look at stats, but we never actually bring the stats to you. So we're going to add the extra bit, bring some stats to you, and DraftHound always run the ball. So yeah, we're going to provide it for you guys and let you know what's going on and where our thinking's at, and then you can also make decisions for yourself on what you see. So yeah,
absolutely,
man.
Absolutely. I always use stats to back up what I've already seen. So stats are kind of like second to what I see, but DraftHound, for what I've done of it, aesthetically pleasing. It's easy to use, love it. So glad to bring it to you.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, Law, we'll go with your team first, and obviously for the benefit of the listeners, if you could please read it out, sir.
Yes, so I currently have Flecken in goal. That is, I think we've got the name of the team now. Brentford's new goalkeeper. I've got Pedro Porro, Estupinan, Gabriel, and Trent in defence. In midfield, in midfield, I've got Foden, Son, Saka, and Fernandes up front with Jesus and Haaland. My bench is currently Areola, Bell, Archer, and Uwari, who all of my benches is awful. So I'm gonna full disclosure, as I said at the top of this show, I have not gone into this. But this is literally my very first draft. Well, I quickly put together. I've already changed it.
You know, it's funny. Like, I know you're doing a disclaimer here, but for a first job, I don't actually think that's a bad shout because the only thing that looks bad is your bench, of course.
Yeah.
But to have Saka, Fernandes, Son, Haaland, and Trent, I mean, it does scream points. I do see a lot of holes, but it does scream points.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, by the way, this is new territory for us, you know. We never see our teams before we start.
No, we're always very cautious. Even
I don't want you to see how we start out. Like,
even you can tell as well because just to describe how this all came together, we were all going to send our drafts to Ray, And then you can tell because in the group chat, me and RJ never put our drafts in there. We sent it to rate individually.
When Ray said he's got the list, I was like, he done exactly the same thing as you. Why are we hiding the drafts?
Why?
When we're going to come and talk about it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the competitive is crazy. Oh, mate. So you really changed your draft?
Yes. So I changed Son to Madison, Awari to March, and then Porro to a 4.5, but I can't remember who.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, maybe like Rico Henry or Cash or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't remember who I did though. Oh no, I think it was Botman. It was Botman.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. At least then you have a bench option.
Yeah, exactly.
March. Obviously, last season there was I had a lot of tears about having March rather than McAllister. So it's March, Mitoma, Gross, or 6.5 million. The consensus has been Mitoma. Then the second has been Gross because he's going to be on penalties likely. Why March at the moment? If the season started tomorrow, why would he go for March? Is it not because last season he should have got 35 goals?
Exactly that. So last season, like as far as his data was concerned, he was better than McAllister, Mitoma, and Gross. So he was just unlucky to not convert a lot of his situations, and it was unlucky. It wasn't like poor performance or anything like that. So I'm just sticking with that rather than going off of anything else. I'm literally just sticking with the fact that data-wise, he was the better of the lot, and that's the only reason I went for March ahead of Mitoma and Gross.
And to add on that, Law, he had a position change because they were trying to fit everybody in. I think he goes back to his original position, and if he's there, March is a problem because he was just behind the striker originally, and then he got put out to the wing. So I back it. I think that's a great shot, March, to be honest. But hopefully you're wrong.
Enciso thoughts, guys, because obviously Enciso, everyone's trying to create their own narrative that it'll start. But of course, with Brighton, they're about 13 attackers.
Exactly.
For 6 positions.
I'm not saying he won't start, but I don't see him starting every game. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think he'll start, but not every game. He was good, man. He showed the quality straight away. So I think they will bring him in. It's just how much minutes will he play? How many games will he start again? I just think it's too soon to say. We know Mitoma is going to start. We know March is going to start. So I mean, we know Gross is going to start. Those are guarantees. So I'm just gonna wait and see what Brighton come up with.
Also, Gross is interesting. If they move Gross into McAllister's position, then he becomes more interesting. But if they put someone else in McAllister's position and Gross stays where he was, I mean, he was completely out of the attack in last year, completely. So then I wouldn't be I know he's probably on penalties, but I wouldn't get him just because he's on penalties.
Yeah, he still rattled 140 points, something like that last season.
Yeah, but that was mostly at the beginning, though. Mostly at the beginning when Potter was still there, because he played a lot more advanced.
We're at the beginning of the season, man.
Yeah, but Potter ain't there. You ain't got Potter playing him as a number 10 anymore.
It's true.
Perfect. So, again, guys, there'll be an affiliate link at the bottom. You can get going, get planning, and the expected points for the draft that Law's just shared is 59 points for that week. So we shall go to myself.
Also, Ray, before you go into it as well, as well as you can see on the screen, it's showing you all the predicted points for that player for the next 3 games as well. I mean, it's good point. You cover up for a few things, man. But anyway, go on. Sorry, Ray. Let's
go. So mine's a 3-5-2. I've got Pickford in goal, Trent, Estupinian, and Gabriel. I think Gabriel's underpriced. I think he's an incredible price this year. In Mbeumo, Mitoma.
Same as last year, isn't he? He was 5 last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Mbeumo, Mitoma, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Saka, Haaland, Jesus. The bench is a joke. Areola, Baldock, Beckenbauer, and Archer. Expected
everyone's going for the dead bench, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly feel like, especially with how much attention we pay to this game, with leaks and stuff like that, the most you'll use is 2 bench players in a week, and even that's rare. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like if you have one that you know is definitely going to start, so like a 4 million defender that's definitely going to start, then you're pretty much set, to be honest. After that, it doesn't really, like, personally, that's how I feel, because you pay so much attention. The only time it became super important was during COVID, because you didn't have a clue what was going to happen, and you could need all 3. But how often do you actually use all 3 bench players?
All 3.
So rare.
Yeah, okay.
It's so rare.
Yeah, I mean,
so are you going for Bruno and Rashford?
Yeah, I love the fixtures. I love the fixtures. I was playing a bit with a 4-4-2 that it would be Shaw rather than Buemo, and then I can get a bench option. But I think, like everyone, we're just waiting for Nano to come in, and then when he's at 5 million, we'll probably chop and change a bit more. And that's when Mbeumo is the player really that I'm a bit unsure about.
I like the Mbeumo shot.
So do I.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But Brennan Johnson, 50 million. It looks like Brentford have offered, and I think they'll get him. He's 6 million. And at this point, 0.5 cheaper. Look how much you can do just in regards to, I could make Pickford Onana, for example.
But then you said, as you said, you're with Mbeumo as a midfielder and playing up front for Brentford. When Tony first got his ban, he immediately stepped up.
He did.
And I know he's going to do the same again, because everyone's going to think, listen, he's not going to be able to do what Tony did last season. He's going to be the main guy now because Tony's out until at least January. Will he be able to step up? And there's rumors of getting another striker. I just see Mbeumo getting better. I think it's a great shout, to be honest.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. And last but not least, we shall go to RJ. So RJ, please read it out.
Yeah, so I've got Steele in goal. I've got Shaw. I've gone straight in with Timber, Estepinian, Grealish, Mitoma, Saka, Rashford, Louis Diaz, Haaland, and the guy who always does well for me every start of the season, Wilson.
You love to start with Wilson, innit, boy?
I love it. Solanke, Cash and Bell, Areola all on the bench. So I've spent a little bit on one player on the bench with Solanke, which I'm not too sure about. But I mean, this was like, I think, my second draft, and I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like the Luis Diaz shout.
I think the only thing I don't like is Grealish. Yeah, I don't like Grealish. Yeah.
So how much was this after our Draft Hound projected points tweet earlier today? Did you bring any of these players based on that? Really? All right, because Diaz and Grealish were in the top 10.
Diaz was from before, because
projected
Diaz,
for 1 to 3. Yeah.
Grealish, I brought him because everyone was going for Foden, and I was a bit surprised at that because Foden didn't really start as much, and Grealish had such a big impact in last season. So I just thought this is an easy differential. So really, it's for how we did last season. I was like, I'm not going for him. I'm going Grealish. Why would I not? I didn't want to have Mitoma, obviously, Saka, obviously, Rashford, obviously, Diaz. When I heard he's back, he's fit. He's been out for how long? Yes, and Wilson, as Law said, I get Wilson every year.
Yeah, he loves it. And it always works.
It always starts.
It's never not worked. Never not worked. Unless he's sharing minutes with Isaac.
Do you think you went with Diaz to cover more Liverpool rather than if he'd do better than a Maddison, for example?
It's more to cover Liverpool in terms of Salah. But I really do
like Trent, no Trent either.
I had no Trent, I couldn't spend 8 million on Trent. I could not spend 8 million on Trent, man. I didn't see it. But then again, it's, to be honest, if I destroy Solanke and change Grealish, it can be done. I can get Trent in. I don't know.
You were that way at the end of last season as well. I remember.
You were. Yeah. Whilst we got him, pretty early we got him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling it.
I think he created the most opportunities and he got the most assists in the last 7 games of the season after going to that inverted position.
Did he get the most assists or just the most chances?
He got the most assists. He got 7 assists in the last 7 games and create the
I
most
think 8 million.
opportunities.
I think 8 million. Like we're basically writing him off as a midfielder, basically, because of his price.
But he gets the
assuming
he gets
he gets
clean
midfielder
sheet potential.
gets midfielder returns with a clean sheet potential.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd rather at the moment, as I haven't got into my more drafts, I'd rather just bet against him.
Exactly. That's one thing to point out is the teams that we're reading out to you or that you're looking at are going to be completely. Well, I won't say completely, but they're going to be different. They're going to be different by the time we get to start. No one's saying like, I'm not changing this. This is it. There's no way.
Yeah. I don't think I have the strength to stay on this team until the beginning of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Throw away your phone.
The mental fortitude is not there.
I don't have the capacity. No. But yeah, FOMO will kick in. I have to get training. But I guess I'm convincing myself already, because if I bring in Trent, I can easily get rid of him if he doesn't do what I need.
Exactly.
But I can't easily bring him back in. So
yeah, if he's smashing it,
that's a because despite the fact that I actually prefer my 4-4-2 with Shaw over Mbeumo, price points. You want price points all over your squad so that you can hop in and hop out. The only player that I can't get to and Law is Salah in one move.
Yeah.
Everyone else we can get to apart from Salah. The potential challenge with you, RJ, is that if Trent starts banging, which I feel like he will, at least from a creative point of view,
more than one move to get him in.
You're going to have to make 2 moves. And with Bournemouth at home, the second game, you might get that FOMO. But
yeah, Trent's he's on the watch list. Just for now. And to be honest, if he does come in, he's taking Shaw's place, so it won't be that hard to get him in.
Oh, you wouldn't do a 4-4-2. You'd stay with 3.
Yeah. I like my 5.
5 in midfield seems nice to see it, doesn't it?
It just looks nice. Yeah.
Aesthetically lovely.
If you're not having Salah, then you might as well.
Yeah. So yeah, if you got to add extra in it. You need to cover Salah. He's in your place, but yeah. The only thing is though, these predicted points for Wilson, I'm like, huh? I know he's got a tough 3 games, but if anyone's going to score in these games, it's Wilson.
Potentially rotation is mixed into there, man, and expected minutes is going to, because he was the one coming off over Isaac as well towards the end of the game. So that's probably
and they've offered 82 million for, even I'm not going to try his name, the guy from Napoli, Kaviceva or something like that.
Oh, the winger.
Yeah, that sick winger that they bought. They got Tonali as well.
Hold on. Newcastle put in a bid for him, 82.
Yeah, 82 million.
Mad. And then if they were to get him, then Isaac probably starts. Because Isaac and Wilson were only playing because Isaac was going on the wing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Kvaratskhelia. But then they also they're looking to get rid of St. Maximin. There's rumors of him. They're looking.
He sent out a message at the end of the season, didn't he, about how, like, just basically how his time there is done.
Mad. But so first set of drafts, I mean, predicted 57 points with, I feel like, a couple gambles in that team. I don't think there's many, maybe 2 gambles in this team. By the time I get to the end, or before we get to the beginning of the season, I think it'll be all right. Yeah. Trent is, the foam is already kicking in. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really kicking in my head. I'm like, all right, take Shaw out minus how much left? What do I need to find? Who will take the dropping block? Grealish and Solanke. Yeah, he's probably gonna be in there. Yeah, we'll see next week.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, sir. So, guys, thank you for watching.
He's gonna kill you guys in this season. I'm telling you. Yeah, man. So
when we were talking about Declan Rice, I literally quickly made a banner and put it up.
Yeah, I heard you clicking away frantically.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, quick little episode for the beginning of pre-season. In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna have a couple more pre-season episodes. We're gonna have our only one bonus point mini league winner down before we started the season. That mini league is going to be open from next week, so we'll get those details to you. I'm going to tweet it out for everybody as well, and we'll probably add it to the banner where you can add the league code to that. And yeah, man, guys, it's been good to see you again this season.
Yes, man, it's good to be back. Yeah. It's good to be back.
Back to podding, back to the smash of things. I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Lord, where's my belt?
Your belt, bro.
In my belt.
Do you realize? Do you realize that if you beat me this year, it's taking you half a decade? half a decade. If you beat me this year, it's taking you half a decade.
Half a decade.
I beat you 4 years in a row.
What kind of madness?
I beat you 4 years in a row. So if you beat me this year, it's 5 years.
Why is he got so close to the mic? Why is he doing this?
I want to make sure you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
That's why I'm close to the mic.
He's never been this loud in any of the pods, and now he's
in any episode. Look at him.
You're damn right.
Like, relax.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely. You want to come for this belt? Try it. Half a decade.
Where is it, bro?
Half a decade. It's nice. It's cool. It's being polished.
Look at him. This is defense. This is his defense. If he loses, it took you half a decade.
Absolutely, that's my defense. I'm chill and relaxed. No matter what, if you beat me, it took you half a decade. I'm chill.
Whatever, man. Not only will I'll beat you, I'll beat the best rank, I'll beat you in every category that we can. That's how we're gonna do it. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. You ain't doing niche.
What the hell does niche mean?
It means nothing.
Oh, okay.
Right, all right, cool. But you know what? Before we carry on for another 20 minutes arguing, innit? Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We have been your hosts. My name is RJ.
I'm Law.
And I'm Ray.
Thanks everyone for listening, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.